Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. And then yeah, go and become a member. There's lots of perks. And then we have the Steve Cannon photo up here. There is one left. One of them is mine. The other one is spoken for by a good buddy of mine. And we have one left. $15,000, $12,000 if you pay an OMI. Anywho, we have. Oh, all right. We've got some stuff going on today. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. I don't know which would be. Oh God. Okay, so we'll start with OMI. We'll start there. So remember the dude that I told you about a couple days ago on Saturday, where I told you guys about it on Sunday, where he bought about 7.5 million OMI. He bought another 3 million OMI today. So we got a little bit of that. We got another whale. So one whale mine is up to 10 million. Another whale mine is up to 35 million. And then I'm gonna try to go and get as much as I can. We are down about 0% on the day. We're at 00083, but what I really want you to look at here is the volume of 824,000. So this started happening last night. So if you go to, what was it, 20? All right, so it's got to go to 19. Yeah, dude, yesterday when we were on the 19th, I can't get it. When we were down at 00080, we took a mighty leap forward. And then we've been kind of going up and down, almost like an erratic heartbeat. But there's more volume today. There was like 900. At one point, it was almost 1 million in volume. It was like 965. Now it's obviously dipped down a little bit to 824, so it's a bit less now. But we had a little bit of volume, and I think part of the reason was because of Reese, where Reese had gone on and updated Telegram yesterday, and he was just saying, "Oh, hey guys, we're working on this, we're working on that." So basically saying that, and I don't know why it takes Reese to say this in order for people to believe that they're working on it. Like, hey, yes, OMI to Gem is coming, OMI to NFT is coming, but we need to do OMI to Bronze tickets first. But we need to do a couple of other things afterwards. So I'm not 100% sure why. Reese needs to go and say something. We all know this is coming, but apparently people need a little bit more. It's easier for them to take on those who doubt us if they hear it from Reese. So by all means, if he wants to come in and do that every week, he 100% can. Oh, I'm in the middle of a big thing right now. Already sold the, okay. All right. Anyway, going back to Bitcoin here, see how it performed against the market. Actually outperforming Bitcoin, that's down 0.4%, Ethereum down 1.2%. BNB down 1.6. Everything, it actually outperformed everything with the outperformed everything. Oh, except for Solana. Solana's up 1.2% on the day, so it did not outperform that. Again, we're just kind of doing day to day here. One of the things, I just got an email from a good friend Lou. Actually, I'm in two of these pools. One pool is a very small pool. We each put in like $6, me and a couple guys at work, and for Lotto tonight. It's Powerball. Yeah, Powerball. However, in another bigger group that I'm in, we got a lot of games going in. I got one share in this. So out of $300 collected, 150 games, split into 33 shares. House big 3 shares, valuing each share at 3.03%. So let's say what's Powerball tonight? And this obviously has a lot to do with Veve and OMI, because I'm gonna sweep every freaking thing. Powerball jackpot New York. It is. How much is Powerball in New York? How much is the jackpot in New York? How much is Powerball prize? Oh my God. Okay, why isn't it saying? Oh, here it is. $638.9 million. So let's divide that in half. Let's say we're at 319, right? We're rounding down to 319. And then we multiply that times 0.03. I would get $9.57 million. What does that mean if we go and, what does that mean for OMI? I think it only takes a couple million OMI. I told people if I win that, or if at least I get part of it, I'll go and buy us up to 3x where we are now. Yep. Which would be about 000. I'm sorry, it'd be about 00243, 244. So I'll buy us up to there. I'll be exit liquidity for anyone who wants to get out. I'll be, but at the end of the day, I'll just be stacking. Now, if I wanted to be smart about this, I would just do 100,000 a day, 20,000 here, 20,000, do it maybe even in $10,000 increments. This way I don't move the price that much. But I think it'd be cool to just triple it at once. And then you have the Veve, what I would get. So just before this started, like maybe an hour ago, I texted my boy, and I was like, yo, I'm a crackhead. And, and I went and oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Yeah. I went and I got number 91, Invisible Woman. She was on there for like $81. She's one of the most powerful people in Marvel in general. This is the first appearance of her. I know she ain't, much to look at, but like it's first appearance of her. I don't know who's gonna play her. I was hoping Margot Robbie would play her, because she's a very good actress and she's beautiful, just like Sue Storm is. But either way, a sub 100 of her for $81 is stupid. When you have something that's, I think there's like 18,000 of her. That's stupid. 18,000 of her, and there's only 59 sub 100s. Yeah, it's dumb. Anyway, what else do we have? What is the title of this freaking podcast we have going on here? Let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, all right. There'll be lots of stuff. Veve whales having a field day. Okay, yes, they are. So I had a buddy of mine happen to go, and he's the newer whale. He's the one that has 35 million OMI now. Field day buying a bunch of Marvel Mighties. I think over the last 48 hours, he's bought like 10 or 12. Over the last week, he's bought like 15 sub 100 Marvel Mighties. Master collector now, even though he just started, a few months back. And he's just like, yo, Chavez, I'm a crackhead. I was like, yeah, I know you are. It's the same here. And when we went and we talked about, okay, why this over OMI? Obviously, he wants to get to 50 million. I'll push him up to 69 at some point, as long as we stay down here. He sold, I think, of like 200 ounces of silver so far for OMI. He's got a couple hundred more ounces left, and we have this thing, like he deals in coins, and I was like, hey, how much do you have here? And I won't say any amounts. I mean, you guys don't know him. It doesn't matter. But he's like, I don't know, I was just like laying around in coins. I don't know, like 6 figures. Like, okay, like, do you want to stay in the coin business forever? He's like, no. Like, okay, well, let's liquidate this. And obviously the numismatic coins will do a lot better. Oh, it's okay, Magic. It's okay. You're busy. You got a lot of things going on. So he's numismatic coins, gold or silver, doesn't matter. The older, the rarer, the minter, the better. They'll go up over time. Silver, however, and I told him, like, you have so many bars of silver. Silver has literally done nothing in 10. I think it's gone up 1 cent per ounce every year for 10 years. It's like, do you see how much money you're losing or you're not making by having it in silver? It's like, okay. So at 100 grand, I was like, okay, you don't need to deploy this all right away. I don't think the bull market really kicks off for another 4 to 6 months. And, we could even have, like, another downturn. I mean, at some point, you had Elon Musk talking on a podcast the other day, saying like, "Hey, well, Warren Buffett got out of China, and both China and the U.S. are kind of preparing for this little skirmish in Taiwan, and that may or may not happen. You could have a diplomatic solution to that, or you could have, I guess, what Padme Amidala would call aggressive negotiation." And yeah, that's gonna heck things up for a little while. But Kathy Wood was saying the other day on her YouTube channel that people are kind of like they're done with like they're done with this recession. They're done with not spending. People have been not spending for quite a while. And actually, you have the Wall Street Journal is such a, we'll get to that. But Wall Street Journal had reported like, hey, there's a bunch of different reasons why you're seeing lack of growth in Netflix subscriptions and Disney Plus subscriptions. And it's like, okay, what's the reason? Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch, that has like $21 billion. He's like, he's going to tell us why poor people are doing things. And he's like, well, it's the cost of living. That's what I was like, okay, maybe that could be part of the reason. I think it's Netflix having to do with the shared. Oh yeah, I guess the shared passwords. They want more people to go, and I understand the reasoning behind that. Let's not share passwords, so this way other people will pay for it. But then you're going to have people like, all right, I'm not freaking paying for it now. Anywho, I did want to bring Disney and Wall Street Journal up, but before I do, If everyone can go smash that like button, that'd be a free way to help support the channel. Not free ways to Patreon, smash the super thanks button down below. Oh man, I don't. Could be a message. Could message about it. Nothing relevant. Yeah, years old. Fair point. Yeah, was hoping to. Yep. Okay. All right. So we were talking about Veve, and I guess I'll start with this. Or Disney. So Disney yesterday had confirmed that they are committing to spending $60 billion on their parks. Chavez, that's really cool. What does that have to do with Veve? I'll tell you. So let's see where we go here. I'll start with this. I've told this story before, but we'll start with this. There was a mall near me where I used to live. I forget what it was even called. Hicksville Mall? Broadway Mall. It's over in Hicksville. Yes, Hicksville is the name of the real place. It's called Broadway Mall, and it has a selfie store in it. What in the hoobastank's a selfie store? Well, it's a store that has like 40 different backdrops to it, and you could take a selfie, under the stars or next to a brick wall, like you're in New York City. There's a castle. There's a lot of really cool things that you could do, and it stayed there for a couple years. It's still there as far as I know. So clearly there's demand for it. And well, what's the purpose of that? Why would you, a lot of older people will be like, that's dumb. And okay, fair point. But a lot of younger people and women, they drive the markets, especially women. Men might make the money, but women choose how to spend it in the household. So why, what does this have to do with Disney? Okay, well, if Disney's going to go and spend $60 billion, essentially creating 4 parks, they want to, so in the US stuff, they want to go and they want to do a Frozen theme park. They want to do a Wakanda theme park. I think they want to do that at Epcot. I don't know where they're doing Frozen. And in Encanto is another one they want to do. In either Animal Kingdom or Magic Kingdom. It's one of the kingdoms. But that might make sense for Animal Kingdom, because I feel like they're all in tune with nature and stuff, and there's only like 50 of them, as in the entire freaking society that they have there, Magic Society. It's so strange. I don't know if Disney did this on purpose, but it's like, Chavez, if I've seen Encanto, it's a really weird magical place where there's only like 50 or 100 people or whatever. How are they not all inbred? Well, that's actually the minimum amount of people that you need in order for a society not to be inbred. I don't know if they've done that, if they've done the math like that, and it can only sustain for a couple generations. And it's like, anyway. So I think Animal Kingdom would be cool for there. But what I'm thinking, so we have an entire Marvel Mighty set from Wakanda. We have a couple of Frozen things from Wakanda, and we have Encanto as well. Frozen things on Veve, and we have Encanto as well. So I do think that in some of these parks, 14 new rides. I do think at some of these parks, you have the ability for Disney to go and say like, hey, what is the future? And they were they at Apple's keynote? Or they at I don't know if they were at Apple's keynote, but they were at Apple's most recent presentation. That could have been, it was either at the keynote or right afterwards, where, what did you see? You saw a partner statue. You saw Disney right there, right next to Tim Cook. And Bob Iger is such a beast. I guarantee you he knows. He knows, okay, whatever Apple's doing is the future. They were ahead with everything. The iPad, the iPhone, the Macintosh, like everything they were trailblazers in. This is no different. And I would say that Bob Chapek was probably a little bit too, well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to badmouth him when he's not here. But you're saying, okay, well, Chavez, all of this about parks is great, but what about like the metaverse? I was like, okay, well, didn't Bob Iger fire the metaverse team? Yeah, he did. But who brought in that metaverse team? It was Bob Chapek. So maybe, just maybe, that after Elon Musk decided to fire 75% of Twitter, that other companies, because it wasn't just Disney, it was a whole slew of other companies that are just like, oh, Elon Musk did it first. He'll bear the brunt of this. Now I'll do it with him, and I'll blame the economy, I'll blame recession, I'll blame war in Ukraine with Russia. And he did. Now, maybe he had fired the metaverse team because he was just doing cutbacks. Or it was his excuse to be like, we're getting Bob Chapek's people out of here, and we're putting in our own. Who is that team? I have no idea. That'd be great if it was cavernous. Could you imagine? But when you have something like the selfie store that I was bringing up, and when you have something like, them being fairly close with Apple and a lot of rumors swirling around Apple potentially buying Disney, then I think this makes sense. Hey, Apple, what can we do in order to help this infrastructure? And like, it's not going to be, yeah, some of us are going to go in, some of us are going to micro with the headset, but a lot of it is going to be augmented reality. It's going to have that extra layer of reality on top of what we already have, which I think is beautiful. That, in my opinion, if you have, I mean, okay, well, Disney gives their IP out to Hot Topic and just like all these random clothes stores that you see in malls. Why wouldn't they build, stores for them? I mean, they're not really making, and once they sell it, they sell it. That's it. They don't have anything on the resales or the hand-me-downs, but all the Veve stuff, making money hand over fist. So it would make sense that they want to lean into that, because that's the gift that keeps on giving forever and ever and ever. So let's be a little bit, let's do super bear case. Let's say the 60 billion that they're spending over the next 10 years, 60 billion a year is 6 billion a year is wild. But let's say none of that goes with Veve. Let's say that's actually a negative for Veve. All this money that they're spending and nothing's going towards anything Veve. Yeah, not good. You might question how really deep the partnership goes, even though I think that's silly. But again, we're doing super bear case here. Let's say they try to move towards their own NFTs. They say that, okay, crypto isn't doing so hot. How long before Veve doesn't do so hot? All these other companies are failing. Maybe we should pull back from Veve a little bit. Again, super bear case. Super medium case, it's like, okay, out of that 60 billion, maybe you don't have a whole Veve selfie station, but maybe you have some Veve fidgetals that are in the store, and maybe it's something that you could go and, that's just a small part, but a part. And yeah, I think that could be a base case. But allow the real Randy Chavez to be a little bit, to me, the most moon boyish you've ever seen. What if, and this is probably less than 1% chance of happening, very close to zero. But what if, when Bob Iger fired Chapek's metaverse team, what if he goes and says, like, hey, Cavernous, you build it. You've done all these great things for other companies, doing it for Veve. Build our metaverse. And let's say somehow you have a way where Veve goes, their metaverse goes into theirs, and they kind of overlap in some way, and they're interoperable, whatever. So interoperability, we got to talk about Brock blockchain and his Feesh. But anyway, we're going to go down the line with that. So when you take a look at this and you say, okay, if Cavernous is building it and this metaverse is going to be interoperable with Veveverse, I think that would be really dope. And then let's say you have at the selfie stations, that gives you MCP points. That gives you whatever. Every selfie you take with each one of your collectibles. And obviously, like, well, how does that work, Chavez? Some people have hundreds or thousands of collectibles. They're just going to sit there all day and take up the whole line. Well, maybe you just do one collectible, one selfie per collectible, and then you can get back in line. Like at Comic-Con, if you go and get something signed, you can't just give them like 20 things and have them sign it. You have the person sign one thing, you get back in line, and then you do it again. You can get in line as many times as you want. So that could be something that they do there. And let's say that they have in these new rides, whether it's from Wakanda Forever, hey, maybe you go and you scan your Veve app, or you scan a QR code on the Veve app before you go on, then you do the ride, and then you scan the code after to show that, hey, guess what? I've completed this ride, and they give you something. I think something like that would be cool. I think what would also be really heckin' cool is if they decided to go and say, hey, we've bought some OMI token, or we're going to accept OMI token. Now, here's where I'm looking at this. If you go and you take a look at, David spoke today at a Blackbird conference, and the Blackbird conference is, Blackbird had invested in Veve in 2020. It was a few years ago, and David spoke today. I'm not 100% sure what he said. That video will be uploaded. It's like a 40 minute video. It will be uploaded in the next couple of days. So I can't wait to go do a video on that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, talking about VCs, you're not going to want to go and this is why Veve, I don't think, has raised really any money yet. Because if you're going to want to raise money, you really don't want to do it with VCs. Why? Because if you go, let's say if I have $50 million and I put 20 million of it into cryptos, because I see the success that Veve's having. Okay, well, Veve's already a couple $1 billion. I can't really get a big part, but I can get a big part of Cryptoys, which also has Star Wars, which also has Disney. Okay, cool. Seems like a safe bet. Let's go. Will seems like a nice bet. And they have He-Man as well, so it's not just I'm not just putting all my eggs in one basket. So then I do that, and I expect to have the same success. I mean, a fraction of success is Veve. They say it's Disney. It's going to sell out. It's Star Wars. It's going to sell out. And I give $20 million to them, and then it doesn't sell out, and then the marketplace is delayed, and then suddenly, and if Cryptoys just decides to go with me, and hey, you're the highest bidder, you are giving the most amount of money for the least amount of the company, and I do that, suddenly I'm gonna be on the phone. I'm gonna be up there, but so freaking hard, it's gonna be like a plug. I'm like, guys. How long until we get this? How long until we get this marketplace up and running? How long until I start receiving some of these funds? Give me something. You don't know how a VC is going to act. You don't with a big company, especially one that is not living or dying on one investment. You're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Delay, because in big companies, especially $100 billion companies, there's a bunch of red tape. There's delays all the time. That's a way of life. So Veve not taking money from random VCs of the last few years, when they could have very easily, I think was really good, because now they're not beholden to those VCs, and they're not beholden to any of those freakouts where Veve has had a bunch of delays, probably more delays than any other digital collectible company. Just because we've done so much, there's obviously going to be a lot more delays. If you're doing 8,000 things, having 100 delays is fine because you're doing 8,000 things. Obviously, that's more delays than any other company that's doing 100 things and they're only delaying 10% of the time, etc. So again, still being moon boyish here. What are they waiting for? I mean, they don't need money right now. They're committed to burning 5.5 billion OMI from the business development fund. Okay, that's supposed to be used to sell, to get more licensors, to do whatever, and they apparently don't need it. Veve's donating 1 million gems to that gem liquidity pool, or the OMI to gem liquidity pool. So yeah, that's another $1 million they're kind of lighting on fire there. They don't need that either. So why would they raise money? Well, generally with investing or with these types of companies, usually it's when they're public, but with these things in general, you want to raise money when you don't need it. Veve is clearly the main winner in this space. I've said it for years that they won the decade, although people are finally just starting to realize it now. And now would be the perfect time to raise money because they don't need it. And I would like to see it be Apple, because I would like to have that relationship between Veve and Apple become closer. And I'm not saying to buy Veve, but I'm saying to buy a percentage of Veve. This way other companies have skin in the game. I really would like it to be Apple. I mentioned on Around the Ecomiverse, everyone was like, yo, Tesla, Elon Musk, Tesla. Okay, yeah. Elon Musk buying a piece of it would be great. I think that Twitter needs money right now, or X needs money. So if they were to get their foot in the door, a partnership with X, hey, let us do the X symbol. It will sell out. We'll make you tens of thousands, not $100,000. And everyone will do it. And God, he could make 1 million of those things. If the dude can sell a cologne that smells like burnt hair, I have a bottle of Tesla Tequila right there. He's selling short shorts. He's selling not a flamethrowers. He can sell those. He can get people to buy NFT. I mean, we don't need his people. I mean, clearly we're already selling out a bunch of stuff, millions of dollars each month. But God, if he goes, we have something like that, he doesn't even need to say anything. He doesn't even need to acknowledge us. He just needs to go and sign off on it. Then yeah, that would be great. So if Elon Musk were to buy in, that would also be equally as great. But again, we're being moon boyish here about Disney spending $60 billion on parks and expansions. What if Disney were to come with us? Again, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who. Could be Apple, could be Tesla, Elon, SpaceX, boring company, whatever. Could be Disney, could be Microsoft. But since we're talking about Disney, let's say it's Disney. when you hear one day, and it doesn't matter who, but we're talking about Disney right now, let's say on a Q1, Q2 next year, their earnings report, and they go and they say, oh yeah, we also gave, 100, let's say Vivi's worth $2 billion, probably worth a little bit more. Let's say 2 billion. 10% of that's 200 million. So let's say, yeah, we gave spent $100 million to buy 5% of Vivi. I don't know if anyone here's ever listened to any of those earnings calls before. It's a thing. It's like Super Bowl Sunday for us investing nerds, and like that's what you do. That's Final Fantasy Day. That's the big culmination of the quarter, uh, and that's gonna be huge. It will rocket off like a virgin's cherry on prom night. I know it was a little inappropriate, but I cannot describe to you how incredible that would be. And again, it doesn't matter who, but that will probably happen eventually. Um, it's an easy way for VV to raise $100 million. Just giving away 5%. It's not a controlling share. I guarantee you, VV's been told to go public, or VV's been asked to go public. Hey, let us do this forward. Let us do this IPO. I know because Earth 2 has had that opportunity multiple times, like no less than four or half a dozen times. I know four of them, but let's say half a dozen times that Earth 2 has been told to go public. Let's take you public. Let's do this. Guarantee freaking to you, I would bet all of my OMI that Vivi's been asked to go public because it's happened with Earth 2 before. So I guarantee it's happened with Vivi. Anywho, that is why I think Disney spending $60 billion will benefit Vivi. I think that's why you have a really big. I think that's why I'm going a little bit crazy on this news because it matters. Star Wars stuff. All right, what else do we have here? All right, yeah, Vivi was having a field day. So I've been talking already for 26 minutes. Let's see what we got, y'all. I'm good. Yeah, I'm feeling. All right. So CoinDesk reports, despite a heavy crypto court calendar, the SEC will keep coming after digital asset firms, including more DeFi, according to its crypto enforcement chief. He said the agency has no intention to stop at Coinbase and Binance. They're literally just going to keep getting their ass kicked in every single court hearing they have. I don't know what the point of this is. They will never win a meaningful case. So, moving on. All right, so Feesh. Feesh is dead. You just got to experience it in the Feeshy underworld if it passes on for now. So that was happening with Feesh. They can die. Yeah, Veve itself also. Yeah, so Feesh will work in the Veveverse. In the Veveverse, they go, and we knew that since DCon of last year. Will they work on OpenSea like the Web3 ones? Because in the Web3 Feesh, you can sell them on OpenSea. I've never sold mine. Had mine, never sold. But Brock says you will be able to sell your Feesh on Veve Secondary, just like any other NFT you own. So on the market, that'll be great. But there is an additional 2% fee on top of Veve Secondary market fee, which is fine. So you pay 4.5% instead of 2.5%. I think that's cool. And congrats to Brock for that. Once interoperability is available, Feeshes will quickly join the line to allow you full custody as allowable with Veve. We have no hangups in doing this. It will be on Veve's timeline, so don't be rude and just let them work. Be advised, who was it, the Labbits? I think it was Ron English that had mentioned, I don't think it was Frank. One of the Veve artists said, yes, we are working on interoperability, and that was 2 years ago. So I don't know if they can that for whatever reason, but be advised, this has been working for quite a while. So even though Brock gave the go-ahead, yes, this will be interoperable at some point on Web3, on wherever, you'll be able to self-custody. It is on Veve's timeline. I'd give that at least a year, if not much, much longer. But that's, again, just my opinion. Just my opinion. We have that. I gambled on the Yoda comic today. Shout out to Veve and Star Wars for going and getting $39,000 today for Yoda comic. Some people are so like, they don't know. I saw someone on Facebook the other day. They're like, why is Veve giving us this comic? This literally goes for $5 in the marketplace, or $5 in the on eBay. But they don't know what we know. That if anyone that's like Star Wars, shout out to Ahsoka, by the way. Oh my God, that has been a fantastic series so far. I'm not gonna lie, I do have a couple of problems with it, but it's been a fantastic series so far. when you have a whale like Clever Jerk going out and showing his amazing, not just number 1337 common, shout out to him for getting that, but his graded Yoda 9.8. I don't know if he graded this himself or he just bought it. Graded 9.8 Yoda comics. Okay, all right. He got a couple of those and then a couple of other ungraded Yoda comics. Like, okay, you know this is going to do really well. So I gambled a little bit. I got a rare and uncommon, and then I bought the common because it was like $2. So I bought that. But that sold out. It was only 6,000 comics. People really like odd. People really like stories. It's a cool story. You have and that's why I got the most recent one they dropped from Disney. Disney did a comic that not a lot of people bought, but it's actually a pretty good story. Where is it? It's like they're into their metaverse. I have so many freaking comics. Avengers. All right, yeah. It's no, it's not Lonesome Ghosts. It's not Lonesome Ghost in the Machine, right? Oh, I just go on here and I can find it. It was not New Mutants. It was Through the Betaverse. Once Upon a Time in the Future, Through the Betaverse. So I got that as well because that's just a cool story. Anyway, moving on here. We got some other stuff. That's just something I gambled on. Times Square stuff, Lotto. Dr. Profit goes before and it says, "Hey, Bezoj man, please DM me." I don't know why. I don't think he's on Twitter. I don't think he has a Twitter. If he does, nobody knows who it is. Somebody had commented, "Hey, at Bezoj man," but that's not his account. Someone that is putting in that is spending like 50, 60 hours a week buying NFTs are not retweeting other people's accounts to get $200. Like that's not him. It's just somebody that has the Bezoj man change his name, whatever. But I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why he's reaching out. Maybe he happens to look. Oh, I know why. I can't share it, but I know why. Okay, never mind. So I've had Janine Yorio on the podcast before, who did a $60 million funding round last year with Andreessen Horowitz, and she had the most amount of land in Sandbox up until I think recently. Now she's like number 2, and when I talked to her I talked about Earth 2, she's like, I never really got into it. I was like, girl, you messed up. And then I talked to her about Veveverse and OMI, and I don't know if I could say this. Well, it doesn't matter. She's not gonna watch this. Off camera, it's just like, hey, listen, when they get their metaverse out, I'll totally buy land. I was like, you're damn right you will. And then she laughed. But like right now, she's kind of waiting on the side. I don't think she has any OMI. She might. No, she definitely does. I don't think she has really any Veve stuff. She's like, when it comes out, she'll get it. It's like my friend Dan that's like, not gonna I know Veve seems great. I'm not gonna put any money in until they have cash out, and they did. And he bought a few things. But yeah. So anyway, the reason I bring that up is because Katie Huan of Andreessen Horowitz is a crypto manager that has she used to see about $2.5 billion crypto portfolio. I think that had really dropped a lot to well under $2 billion. But I will work to get Katie on the podcast, and I'll be like, hey, owe me. So I'll keep you guys posted with that. Yoda. Okay, so the Yoda lightsabers have been yo-yoing all freaking day, like 24 hours. I even put out a video or a post yesterday, like, "Hey Yoda, why is your lightsaber like just double?" And I think I know why. It's because this mother flapper, Extreme Vendors, says, "Keep disrespecting it. See what happens." Has 469 of these things. I want to comment nice down below with 69. I was like. So I immediately commented, I was like, it was you. You're the one that kept buying those. So I didn't mean for this to happen. I messaged a couple of whales. Like, I was wondering why these had doubled since yesterday. One was like, I actually think that's a pretty great play. I was like, it is. Sub 100s are impossible to get on this and on the Skywalker one. So this is the best thing for anyone that can do moving forward for this collectible. But I think they just kind of scooted over this collectible. And like, is it just the green ones or the other ones too? I was like, well, the blue Skywalker is good as well, but be advised, it may take a while before they go up because there's 20,000 of each of them. And he's like, no problem. So I haven't checked it since then. I'll check it now. and see what this has done. Oh, actually good. I'm actually only 34 minutes. Okay. I had a sub 100 of the Skywalker lightsaber. I sold it for more OMI, which is fine, but that would be really cool to have. So Yoda's back down to actually $20 now. I've spent way too much on the app this last couple weeks, so I'm not going to get it. But there's a number 57 for $357. As like Chavez, that is like 15x, it's like 16x the price of the lightsaber. Why would I get that? Because out of 20,000 of them, there's only 59 sub 100s, and that is about probably as cheap as you're going to get. Go to the Skywalker one, same thing. There's 19,770 of them. It's also $20. I guarantee you can't find one for less than like $900. Oh, you can actually get one for $799. I still wouldn't do it at that price, but you know, people do be crazy though. Anyway, I have more to go over. Zojman, that was that. Pokemon stuff. Warm water, nope. Ooh. Pokemon is being wild with their stuff. I can't. Anyhow. Forget what they took from you. Invisible Woman I went over. Okay, so I went over Disney before, and I went over... Okay, so you had the Wall Street Journal the other day had gone on and reported, hey, Disney, nobody's going to the Disney parks anymore, and here's the proof. So I think they showed a day where I don't know what was going on. The parks just happened to be not as filled. And then they also showed a chart which says, okay, here's what the wait times were in 2019, 2021, and now in 2023. And it had gone down. So because of Veve Magic, I know that they do it now, I think with an app where they go and they say, hey, you have your time that you're supposed to go on this ride. And if it's not your time, don't go wait on it. If it is your time, then you go and wait. So the lines were cut down, not because there's a lot less people going. The lines were cut down because some things are more efficient. And just because of that system, you're not going to go for a ride if it's not your time, if you're not slated to go there. And I thought, like, why would Wall Street Journal should be, you know, they're usually pretty good, but I did read that they are owned by Rupert Murdoch, and Rupert Murdoch does have he owns a Wall Street Journal, and he's fairly conservative. And obviously Disney has been warring with conservatives for quite a while now, you know, the go woke, go broke thing, which I get it. Disney, you know, made a couple of errors every now and then. But I'll get to that comment in a bit, Stan, unless you want to super chat. Yeah, so I went over a couple of other things that they had that he owns, and he owns Sky News Australia. Now, Sky News Australia, if you go and you Google Sky News, oh hey, look at this. Disney drops Wally NFT live on Veve. Sky News joins NFT. So it was my video on November 10th of 2021 about Sky News. And it was just about an article they did about NFTs where they mentioned Veve. So I thought that was really interesting that Murdoch, he owns Wall Street Journal, which has been very negative on Disney and almost importantly wrong on Disney. They weren't just negative, they were wrong on that part. And then he also owns Sky News Australia, where Sky News has been very positive on NFTs, and Veve, which obviously has this major relationship with Disney. So I'm wondering if anyone's ever seen Pokemon the movie, the 2000, where the legendary birds are fighting, and the only one that can quell the fighting is Lugia. I wonder if the only company that can quell the fighting between Wall Street Journal and Sky News and Disney is Veve, because it has connections with all of them. I just thought that would be fun. Anywho, save that for another time. Yeah, they had a section about Amazon Prime, Disney, Netflix. Yep. Yeah, I remember this video. This is a good video. I'm patting myself on the back. This is a good video. Yeah, so they're talking about lighter wait times at Disney, where it's gone down over the years, but that's because it got more efficient. That's so stupid that they didn't mention that. Anywho, I think that is it today. So I'm gonna go and answer all of the comments and all the questions, and I hope you liked that part of the show. Jason Pena says, "What's on your beautiful mind, Randy?" Oh, so much. The beautiful mind was occupied with if Disney and Veve could not merge. Well, that'd be... I did mention to David, it's like, hey, you know, let's say we have in the next 8 years we have a Republican president get elected twice, and Disney really gets on the verge of not doing good, and their market cap stays not good, and things go down. Let's say it gets worse for Disney, and then OMI goes up to several dollars. Not that that would happen in 8 years. That would take a longer time. But I was like, what if you guys just buy a bunch of Disney stock and just buy a bunch of voting shares and voting shares and voting shares, and then you sell a bunch of OMI and you buy more shares, and then you get enough to flip them. I was like, wouldn't that be great if you guys bought Disney? He's like, let's do it. Now, obviously, that was a joke. There's a less than 1%. There's probably less than 0.1% chance of that happening. But in that scenario, it is possible. But again, but anyway, I love the ideas of partnerships. I love the ideas of merging. I mean, you have like, I don't know, who could buy Paramount? I mean, you could have a whole bunch of these streaming services go and merge. And again, most likely it's Apple that goes and takes over. And if any company is going to buy Veve, it would be Apple, probably. Any company that would buy Disney, it would also be Apple. So it could kind of make sense. Anywho, moving on. Prince Sylvie says, am I the only one who thinks Veve got lazy in the Secret Rare Yoda comic and probably said screw it? Just slap an iconic picture of Yoda on it. The fans won't care. So be advised, Clever Jerk goes and he actually has that is actually a cover for it. Clever Jerk has it. But I do like where your head's at. That is hysterical. Freedom with Crypto says, hola, Randy. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bill Gardner says, let's go. Howdy, howdy. Turtle says, all right, all right, all right. Blast off with New York Comic Con. Dude, I can't freaking wait. I had so many people asking me, hey, what are you saying? What are you saying? Stay with me. I was going to stay in a hotel with a person with a couple of whales. And then without my consent, a friend of mine says, hey, I got this Airbnb. You're coming. I was like, they already spent the money. I was like, okay. So I'm not trying to, when I said people, I'm not sure where I'm staying yet. I'll keep you posted. I really wasn't. And now like it's coming out like, oh, I'm staying in an Airbnb and it's not with a bunch of the people that asked. It's not my fault. I didn't, it just happened. It was bought, like they bought it without telling me. Okay, moving on. But yeah, New York Comic Con is going to be a blast. I can't wait to go and see everyone. I can't wait to just like, give everyone big hugs. You guys like, you keep me going, man. You guys go and, I look forward to streaming. I don't like marketing. I don't like, sometimes I like staring at stocks, the autism kicks in. And it's like, but this is my, I wouldn't say this is my heaven. Cause if I was in heaven, I would not be sitting on this rinky-dink twin size bed, but this is fun. There was I forget who said the quote. It was on a Dan Schawbel comment, or Dan Schawbel video on TikTok, where, and I get this, I know where the left is coming from, where it's like, oh, you'll have nothing and you'll be happy. That's what the rich patriarchy says, and so, but this is part of it. Like, my favorite times in life was when I was suffering the most, when I was building my dream, when I was working in a high-risk lending business, and I had, a Pokemon business on top of that, and YouTube on top of that. My favorite times are when I'm grinding. And yeah, being retired was fun. It's great. I'm sure I'll enjoy it again when I do it again. But that's the best times is when I'm here, I'm grinding with all of y'all. It's like we're all in this together, like WAGMI, we all gonna make it. That's fun. And I feel like we're going to miss this. I mean, not a ton, because the struggle do be real sometimes. We're on the struggle bus, but I know it because I missed it after I retired. I was like, this is the easy life, We are gonna miss it. Anywho, moving on. Connor says, hello, Connor. Alan Hennegar says, hey Randy. Alan, what's up, Big A? Thank you for being a member. You are the best. Ben Robbins says, can you imagine where the price of OMI could be if we just had regular 5 million a day volume? Half a penny easily? Yeah, I mean, we'll double. We might even triple 5 million in one day. Yeah, we'd triple. 5 million each day? we might not drop as hard. We might sustain that if we have that each day. But 5 million a day is not a lot compared to where we're going. We'll have 20x that. Alan says, "Hey Randy, how much do you think the Series 1 Batman Black and White set will be worth during the next bull run?" I don't know. 50,000? I don't think the I don't think the Joe Madero or the Becky Cloonan one will be a ton. But I feel like a lot of people are really underestimating the scarcity and the first error that we had on Veve. Is where the first set is also the first error, where it says first edition on the Eddie Riso. Why does it say that? Well, it shouldn't. That's meant for art, but it was an error and they kept it. So the Eddie Riso, it's the first ultra rare. It's the scarcest one. It's the one that's my favorite because it looks like Batman. It's the one that just goes and you're just like, oh, he can kick. The Todd McFarlane Batman. It's iconic and there's a reason why it's number one. But it kind of doesn't look like it could really fight. Like the Eddie Riso, take you to Pound Town. He'll pound you with his fist. It's not a cool Batman with his fist. Yeah, there's Chainsmokers. Yeah, Chainsmokers. Something just like this. That's gonna be worth it. I mean, the Todd. Yeah, we'll go back to 10K. That's a lot. Oh, I probably will. I mean, it depends what ETH is. It depends on how much they end. Yeah, honestly, when you have OMI, when OMI goes up, and if you have $10,000 worth of OMI, screw that. Let's say you have $1,000 worth of OMI, and then in 2 years you have $100,000 worth of OMI because OMI's probably gonna do that 100x. Spending 10K on something will be nothing. And be advised, guys. Like, I get it. There's if you don't like any of these Batman, take your pick. There's a dozen other Batman on this freaking app. But this is the first. Like you can never you can make it a more awesome Batman. You can make a more scarce Batman. You can make the most popular Batman, but you can't remake the first appearance. Like you can't remake that first time we've ever had it. Why does Zapdos do better in base set than it does in fossil set? Because base set happened first. And that's something you have to. Same thing in Pokemon cards, same thing in comics, same thing in this. You can never recreate that first set, that first appearance, that first time you see it on the blockchain, on the app. So it's really, really special. I would say 30 to 50K. And I know that sounds insane now. Chavez just pumping your bags. I don't have that set. I don't have any of that set, so I'm not pumping my own bags. That's just, I feel like that's very logical of where it'll go. We had what? I could count on both my hands the amount of whales that we had last, like big whales that we had last in 2021. There will be a lot more, and they'll have a lot more money. So yeah, that's what I would say. Doctor Strange, what up? What up? Magic, I love you. Fatty D says, "Hey y'all, meow 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 meow. This is what dreams are made of." Bill Garner says, "I should sell some of my silver for OMI." You should sell like all of your silver for OMI. Well, the bullion, sell all the bullion. Don't the numismatic stuff I really do like. Even gold numismatic, I really like that. Well, even gold bullion grows like 4% a year. Are you better off putting it in a T-bill? Absolutely. But yeah, OMI's going to go up so much higher than those. Not financial advice. Well, actually, Bill, we're friends. I can give an advice to you. Sell that silver, Bill. Beauty Magic says 14 new rides at Disneyland. Let's go. Yeah, that's incredible. It'll take a while, but I can't wait. Yoni Burger says Elon got minings. Minings? Yeah. J-Dog says, yo, yo, yo. Did you see my tweet about Walmart and Metaverse e-commerce? I added you. Can you send it to my Twitter or at me again, or like be advised. I'll just show you on my X platform. Yeah. Okay, so I just went on to the X platform and oh shoot, I have no all right. You see me scrolling for like a minute Okay, let's see what that is. And I scrolled for a minute, and it's like, okay, that was 2 hours ago. I'll never catch up. I don't go and what's your name on here? JDog 2020. Okay. You added me. So these are all, so it's not just mentions. Or maybe I should just do mentions. Mentions. Are you JDog 2020? I'll look for J. Oh yeah, you are. Okay. All right. Directly related to what many of us have been saying, so good for OMI, Veve, entire digital collectible space. Walmart reveals their meta blockchain plans. SEC goes hard. Solana. I did not see that, but I am curious. I will take a peek at that later. Moving on. Yoni Burgers is mining panels. Oh, nice. Crazy Dan 420 says, I'm keeping all, thank you for being a member. Says, I'm keeping all of my physical silver as a stable hedge against possible future mayhem. Gold and silver are real money. Fiat is currency, and silver will eventually have its day. So Crazy Dan 420. I had purchased a lot of silver back in the day. Well, not a lot, 150 ounces maybe. And I was a big Alex Jones supporter. I was a big Adam Enfroy supporter, Luke We Are Change, Peter Schiff of Euro Pacific Capital. I can argue for gold and silver better than 99% of the world. But the fact of the matter is, silver in August of 2013 was $24.03. No, let's see what it is. I had a picture of it that I will show to you. And it is, I'll scroll a little while to find it. But it's very strange. Okay, here it was. August 15th of 2013. Silver was $23.04 per ounce. That I just showed you. So let's go for the price of silver right here. Price of silver. Go to Kitco. It is now $23.14. So it has gained 1 penny per year. I've been hearing silver will have its day for. I've been hearing that for over a decade. And that's where it is. Could it eventually go? I've been hearing, the physical demand for silver is so high, and I get it. Silver Institute says that China's buying it, like the countries are buying it. They've always been buying it. I just feel like a lot of countries, they just don't really know what they're doing. I mean, they don't. Not all leaders are economists, and even if they are, I've met and worked with a bunch of economists, and not all of them are smart. Like they're not. Yeah, I get, okay, well, they have a bunch of money and okay, yeah, I get that. But, sure, it's a good hedge. Silver's actually been the best stable coin in the world. But it's not keeping up with the rate of inflation. And I know it has its uses, it can be used to make stuff, fillings, computer parts, does it conduct electricity? Gold conducts electricity. But I'm not a fan. A lot of my whale clients now is like, hey, if you have bullion silver, I'm telling them to dump it. Like, I'm telling them all to dump it. Numismatic coins, I think, are really good. Some of them are super rare. Some of them, like, they're only going to go up in value. But again, that's just my opinion. Pasternak 88 says, like number 26. Well, thank you. Yoni Burger says, Mighty Jacks also. Oh, nice. I like Mighty Jacks. I don't have one, but I do like it. I think it's cool. Where is my Mighty Jacks? If I just type in Jacks, will it work? Oh, it does. Inked Stories, Eve, 228. Damn! It's a big one. Sam says, in your opinion, why did the brands fork over their most cherished first appearances? Is there a bigger plan in the mist that's so mega it's beyond belief with the Apple Vision Pro? Thank you. Yeah. So it's either one of three things. We'll go with the most negative, and then we'll go base, and then we'll go with the most positive. So the most negative thing could be that maybe Disney, Marvel, all these companies just didn't know what they were doing. There's like, oh yeah, digital collectibles. It's like sending stuff, like a Funko Pop at Walmart, and we'll be their competitor in the digital realm. We'll get it first. Huzzah, unlimited amounts. And maybe them not being collectors, they just don't know what a first appearance means. And maybe that Veve just like took advantage of everyone. And again, I think that'd be very negative, because if Disney and Veve, or Disney and Marvel and everyone else were to find out, oh, y'all did this to me and I didn't know what this was, we are over, and then they'd be done. So I don't think that's the reason. The most bullish reason why they would fork that over is because, and why the Marvel Mighties especially, like, for a collector, like, they have Storm, they have Elektra, they have Daredevil, they have cool statues. Black Panther, cool statue. But Captain America, we have a great statue. It's cool. It's not first appearance, though. That goes to the Marvel Mighties. The entire Fantastic Four, like, all of the Captain Americas go to the Marvel Mighties. The Fantastic Four, those first appearances go to the Marvel Mighties. The villains go to the Marvel Mighties. Eternals, which I know nobody really cares about because the movie sucked. But you know what? There are some damn good comics, and those are some fine, fine characters. They are powerful beyond measure. And Cersei gets it on with Tony Stark, and it's amazing. Sorry, anyway. You have a bunch of these characters that are... why? So the most bullish reason I could think of is because they are planning 6 years ahead. And they're like, okay, we'll do it, because we're going to make a game out of it. We're going to start with this. We're going to be able to use them in games, and they're carrying out their plan, and they're going to be gamified, super crazy amounts, and it's going to be a play-to-earn game. And now, most likely, they do have, and again, that's my most bullish thing. Most likely, they do have something planned. I don't know what it is. Because, I mean, to have all of their first appearances, or most of their first appearances as a Marvel Mighty, David and Dan know exactly what they're doing. They're not having their first appearances be a Mighty unless it means something. And this is a new brand. I don't know what it would be. I don't think a Marvel Mighty has ever made it more than 24 hours without selling out. I'll make sure of that this time as well, because I'm gonna go hard on a bunch of these. The next one. So we're getting one or two more Marvel Mighty sets. One will definitely be in November for the Marvels. We might get another one in October. I'm not sure yet. We only got 3 sets so far, and I think we're due for at least one more, but I think 2, maybe 3 more. Probably just 2. Who be this? I love waffle. Sorry. Yeah, we've only had 3 sets, because Black Panther 1 dropped in November of last year, right? Yeah, Black Panther dropped in November. Yeah, so we've only had a couple of them. Ant-Man was 1, and that dropped in... It won't show me. It won't load. Okay, there we go. And that dropped in February. Yeah, not a ton. Okay. Anywho. Where was I? So I think that's why they gave him the first... Because, I mean, God forbid, Disney, Marvel, whoever, they tried to do this themselves and they messed up. This is why I don't think Pokemon's in right now. Because they want to read the terrain first. Like remember in that episode of Dragon Ball Z where Piccolo wants to fuse with Kami because the androids are taking over. It's like, they just destroyed a Super Saiyan. We need to merge now. And then Kami's like, I want to see how things play out first. And like Piccolo's like, what? You're going to tell me this Cell's a really good guy? And then, Kami's just like, hey, I just want to see how things play out first. I think Pokemon is taking the Kami route and saying, I just want to see how things play out first. And I guarantee you they're beside themselves right now. Be like, thank God we didn't go, because you see, who's it? Recur went and they failed, and Nifty's went and they failed. How many other companies are going to fail? How do we know you're not going to fail? Well, obviously, they can go and see the money that they're making, the profit and loss, the balance sheet, and they know that Veve's not going to fail. There's at least one person there's probably multiple in Pokemon that is exceedingly intelligent. And I'll be like, oh, Veve's won this decade. We should go with Veve. Because anyone else that tries is second place. Now, I think that's why Disney and Marvel and all of them have done that so far, giving them their cherished first appearances. Bigger plan than this, yeah. I mean, well, we have our metaverse that is going to have IP branded worlds. You know, I did a Moon Boy-ish rant before, like, oh, it could be Disney. They could be part of the IP branded worlds. Even if they are, I don't think that would happen for years down the line. But I would think the goals. So, remember in the Eddie Guerrero story, Cheating Death and Stealing Life, he goes on and he talks about how he gets started. He's like, well, the smaller wrestler wasn't really in style in the US at that time. So I set my goals on reality goals, which were Japan and Mexico. And then he starts wrestling there and so on and so forth. So I think right now what we should do is we should focus our IP brands and our expectations on a little bit more based in reality. Like Cryptkins or Marvel might, oh God, I don't know. We'll leave that on the side for now on the back burner. Cryptkins I think would be cool. I think if we had some of the Cartoon Network characters, that would be cool. Tokidoki would be cool. I think a couple of these brands that are known but not like super popular, super well known. I think and ones that have like, I think the ones that look like Marvel Mighties, like Cryptkins, they kind of have that chibi look. The Tokidoki stuff has that chibi look. The Cartoon Network characters, they have that chibi look. So I really think that could be, those could be our reality goals for the metaverse, for the IP branded world so far. And then one day, I think Marvel could be in that. It looks really interesting. And Disney at some point would be great. But, you know, there's Veve City. There's going to be a major Veve land. And then what other types of land do you have? Yeah, Pie Fantasy Land. I don't know. But I do know that it will be one of the major things on the Apple Vision Pro. Like, they need content, and clearly we're going to be on there. Troy Perez says, I still would love to have that 5-cent party. Maybe make something with the logos as a way of level. Get into the party. Let's get this in the planning stages. Once it's at 1 cent, and you have, it's going to be great, and I can't wait. We probably, I think Dan Lee posted a status like a year and a half ago. Is like, if we have a 5-cent party, will you go? Yes, no, only if Randy's going. And the majority of people said only if Randy's going. Yeah, we'll have multiple parties. Don't you worry. BB Magic says Disney will always continue innovating and delving further into technology. They excel in it. Those Imagineers do be thinking though. Magic also says the fact that they've allowed 2 NFT companies to license their brand further proves their interest in looking into the future and want to be a leader in the space. In my opinion, that is a good point, Magic. That is a very good point. That was a great point, actually. We're gonna, ow, my hip. I gotta take a picture of that, Magic. You got lots of good insight. Jackson. Okay, moving on. Bill Gardner says Magic having Brock on. Pretty pumped about that. Me too. Love those guys. Magic says, woohoo! Just set up the stream layout today. We'll work on another video for him after that as well. Oh, that's so cool. Dude, Magic is so awesome. She puts so much work into her stream, so much work into the videos. Cheers to that. I never have anything planned. Like every single time I've interviewed David, there have been zero preparation. Magic's a G. I love her. Troy Perez say, besides the Veve logo, what is your favorite collectible piece? Probably Alligator Loki, the secret rare. That yeah. But besides the logo, it'd probably be Alligator Secret Rare Loki. For now. Bill Gardner says, I picked up a rare and 3 commons in the market. Oh, for the Yodas? The Yoda comics? Nice. Dr. Strange says, episode 6 was a near perfect A-. A plus would be perfect, right? Well, if you gave it an A-, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, it was really good. I like it. Stan says, any updates on Banksy? Is Beeple a possible partnership? Thanks. No updates on Banksy. Beeple, it doesn't really mesh with us too well. I don't know. Not to my knowledge, no. But I don't know. I would like to get some really cool art. Like, I have from San Diego Comic-Con. from San Diego Comic-Con, I got a Alex Ross artwork. It's the number 41 too. So I'd be hoping we can get someone like him. I would totally love to get Alex Ross stuff on Veve. That would be good. I can't. Oh, yeah. Oh God, I farted. I'm so sorry. Okay. G-Flow says, Randy, do you think Veve is a profitable company? Of course, like, yes, they are majorly profitable. Bill Gardner says, wasn't feeling the whole hyperdrive flying whales. Not sure how that works. The Purgles, space magic. It's awesome. Troy Perez says, mine is Labrador XK5 Veve. The Labradors are cool. That Secret Rare Labrador is dope. Dr. Strange says, that's not the only reason the Yoda Saber is going up and down. I love you, Dr. Strange. You're hysterical. Jordan Riz says, woohoo, Randy live. Bill Gardner says, but those lightsabers probably won't 100x like OMI. No, they won't. Will they 10x like OMI? Yeah, they'll probably do 10. I can see them going to 200. Bill Gardner says, big BG, let's go OMI. Let's get that bread. Dr. Strange says, ha ha ha, I was thinking about the whales, Bill Gardner. Stan says, in your opinion, why is Pokemon delaying their entrance into the NFT space? I kind of answered this before. And I would really just say because they want to wait and see. So a lot of people don't know this. If I were to ask, I wish I could do polls down here. Could I do a poll? Oh, no, it's a thing. No, it's not a thing. Can I do a poll? No, save highlight, microphone. Why doesn't it let me do a poll? It's not. Oh well. Basically, if I were to ask you, how old is Nintendo? I bet you most people would be like, oh, I don't know. Mario's been around for 40 years, so maybe a little before that, 50, 60 years old. Nintendo's been around for 3 centuries. It started in the 1800s. I think the 1880s to be exact. Went through all the 1900s and is now in the 2000s. So it's like 140 years old. Maybe 130, but it's been around for quite a long time. So they know to take their time with things. Yes, they innovate, and yes, they are sometimes at the cutting edge of certain types of gamification. But this is a brand new space, and nobody knows what the heck is going on. Veve does, and not too many other companies, but Veve does. And you sign on too early. Hey, you give away some of the best IP, and you could possibly give away billions of dollars in the future, especially with something like Pokemon. And if you go and do it, if they did it themselves right now, again, they could possibly fail. And because like if you go on E4 right now, you have like 40% of people on E4 that are just like, ew, NFTs. No, it would ruin Pokemon, but just idiots. Then you have like 20 to 25% of people that are just like, I don't care what it is. It's a whole new way of collecting. I'm in. And then the rest of them are just like, maybe, they're neither here nor there. They're not really into it. Like, I mean, not everyone collects everything of Pokemon. Not everyone plays all the games or reads all the books or watches all the shows or movies. So it's very possible that in the people that collect the cards, they might not like Pokemon in the they might not like Pokemon in NFT form. It's like, well, I already have Pokemon Go, and these are my digital collectibles. Like a lot of people just won't really understand what it is. So, and Pokemon knows this. Nintendo knows this. I'll be like, hey, maybe if we try this and it doesn't work, now suddenly we've kind of hecked up the first editions of this, and we really don't want to get into the space with it not working. And I would say for Nintendo, if I were Nintendo, I would go and say like, hey, we'll do a Pokemon card, or we'll do Pokemon stuff eventually in the future, but you have to prove to us this works. We'll give you Earthbound. We'll give you Lucas. We'll give you Ness. We'll give you the baseball bat, the yo-yo. We'll give you a bunch of this stuff. And if you can get your audience to go and buy stuff, Earthbound stuff, or to buy stuff that maybe, not a lot of people are really liking, then we'll go and we'll do another license. Then we'll go and we'll do, Captain Falcon. And then when we do is F-Zero, we do with the different cars, we do the different characters, the different outfits. Then we'll go and do, I don't know, Metroid. And then slowly but surely, if they were to do that, then I could picture them saying, okay, here's Kirby, here's Donkey Kong, here's Yoshi. What comes with Yoshi? Mario, Princess Peach, Wario, Waluigi, and then once we do all those, maybe Pokemon. Oh my god, my hips, my back is dying. So, but again, that if you do that, you gotta wait like 2 years before we freaking get the thing, before we get Pokemon, which they might want to do. I would suggest Nintendo doing that now. You know, just because you get Earthbound and you get a couple of these things, like you get half of what's on my arm, you get Zelda, you get Kirby, you know, Donkey Kong, maybe you'll get Pokemon. You know, that's what I would do if I were them. If I were do I were them, I would be latching onto Veve like nobody's business. Why? Because Vivi's a clear winner in the space. The more time that goes on, the harder it's going to get for Nintendo to go and Pokemon to negotiate something good. Why? This bear market will not last forever. Yeah, maybe Vive's worth $2 billion now. But they'll be worth $3 billion in a year and $5 billion in 2 years. Probably when OMI goes up, because of what's on their balance sheet, they'll have billions and billions of dollars. And suddenly, you know, it's going to be a lot harder for Nintendo to negotiate. So yeah, I would if I were Nintendo, I would have already had a thing with Veve. I would have already had an agreement with them. But that's just me. Now where was I? K5, lightsaber. Okay. Bill Gardner says, at Jordan, my guy. Veve Magic says there is not a slowdown at the parks in my experience. Not here, at least. Yeah. Preach, Magic, preach. We should have had you in that freaking article. Had you and the Magic. I need to comment down below if you want to see Magic on the live stream. I've had her on once, but comment down below if you want to see her again. Wubba Wubba says, someone buy my 57 Dr. Doom. Oh, Wubba Wubba. I've been looking at that for weeks. The only reason why I'm not, is because I happen to get really lucky. I was surfing this app at like 3 in the morning because I'm an absolute crackhead, and I happen to get a really good deal. I got the number 48. Chavez, how much did you pay for that number 48? I paid $450, and I got it like a month ago. So yeah, that's why ooh, hiccups. That's why I went and, oh my God, hiccups. That's why I can't buy your number 57 Doom, Wubba, because if I paid $450 for a number 48, a sub 50, you know, I can't pay more than that for a non-sub 50. If we'll talk tomorrow, if you could drop it down to maybe like 400, then I think my whale might be interested. But I'll keep you posted. X4 says, in Orlando, there is. What up, my guy? Yo, what up, X-Force? X-Force! Stan says, is it safe to say David Yu is the most knowledgeable collector in the world? Yes. And I don't like, well, you know, my grandpa has been collecting for 90 years. And, you know, yes, most people's grandpas that have been collecting stamps and plates and all these things, that they're probably very knowledgeable in their fields. And even if they know more about their particular fields than David does, you know, in those things, David is literally not only just a business owner and sees multiple and like a serial entrepreneur, but is somebody that goes and is a pioneer. He's a trailblazer in this new disruptive way of collecting. Yeah, David probably knows more about collecting than most. There's maybe a handful of people. The downside with David has to do is he. Somebody asked me the other day, like, how many people know more about the app than you, including the people on the app? Like, I don't know, because most people have full-time jobs. Most people go and even if they want to learn about it, they have to go and look for information. I'm very lucky in that people just give information to me. They're like, hey, Randy, check this out. Hey, this is what I noticed. And, so it gets very hard to try to beat me information wise. And that's why I'm able to put on a show every day, because I get so many people like, I will never get back up to my messages. And going and sharing things. And it's unfortunate because some of those things are really interesting and I don't see them until days later. But yeah, that's so David, he probably does, what does he sleep? Maybe 4 hours a night. He's probably working 16 hours a day minimum. And he's got to run the business side, so it's hard for him to know. Like, I remember when what was the one that was fighting RoboCop? The ERC something. He's like, oh, that hasn't sold out? Yeah, I gotta get one. Like he just can't know every nook and cranny on the app just because he has to deal with so many other businesses, and that unfortunately takes precedence. You have to do your chores for the business before you can enjoy the other stuff. And if you don't do your chores, or you're done. So there might be some people that still, out knowledge him, but it's not a lot. Collector expertise running. Moving forward, as projects pop up, is a collector's expertise a must for running an NFT project? Yes, absolutely. You have to know what collectors want. Absolutely. Seasick Viking says, could have bought OMI today, but I couldn't let Thor number 43 just sit there all neglected in the market like that. Oh, my man. Get that, Seasick Viking. Get it. Raven says, what about interoperable Batman on McFarlane? Do you think that the most scarce on McFarlane Todd will be higher or lower in price compared to Veve saw Todd, say, in 10 years' time? Some of these interoperable. I don't know. Nobody knows anything. God, all right. My best educated guess is that the Todd Batman on Veve will be worth more than all of the other Todd variants wherever they exist. Just because, if most money is going to Veve, it's what's going to happen. Yeah. Mark Dolevsky says, Randy, GCC, looking for some more buys. Check out the action right now. Grumpy Cat Coin? Sold all my silver bullion for Grumpy. Oh, ho. We gotta take a picture of this. Yo, Grumpy Cat Coin, let's go. All right, let's see what we got. Somebody once told me the sharpest tool in the shed. Up 2% on the day, let's go. Get it, Grumpy Cat. Get it. Go, SpongeBob, go. Get it. Gotta love the Grumpy. Booty says, Grumpy Cat Coin, let's freaking go. Bill Garner says, I gotta stop selling my Mighties. Play to earn would be absolute fire. Oh, yeah, you gotta stop selling your Mighties. Unless they're to me, but yeah. Mighties are my favorite things. Simon Hodge says, hey, Randy, you're missing the Grumpy Cat Coin pump. Lovely. Oh, my God. I guess I did miss it. It was 15 minutes ago, but it did pretty well. We had a bunch of buy orders. And then, it's still going. There's a bunch of buy and sell orders. That's interesting. Yeah, there's somebody had a nice $24,000 buy order. All right, hold on. Who was that? 847. Just A4C7. And then A4C7 did another small buy, but A4C7 is not selling. A bunch of other people are selling. But then, we had a... okay, here we go. Yeah, that was not writ small, but... All right, huzzah, Grumpy Cat. Moving on. VV Virgin says LGTB. Let's go to bed. I don't know what that is. Jason Bania says, sell wall building on Secret Rare Spider-Man. Will we see 5K? Asking for a friend. I don't know. Let's check the Secret Rare Spider-Man. I do want to get one. I don't really have enough funds right now. Let's search the Spider-Man. Spider-Man. All right, let's go to the Secret Rare, right? Secret rare. There's 35 of him on the market. It's about 3.5% of the entire supply. Yeah, it's at 54 hundo. Well, 54.50. I would say might stay there for a while. He got up to like 7 recently, I feel like, and then kind of dipped back down. I'll get him at some point. Maybe. Keep helping us. His opinion says, Randy, just downloaded Pokemon Go, and to my surprise, they Niantic built AR photos. What do you think? I think that's great. He said you just covered this. I think everyone will at some point. Everyone that has something like this will do it. When? Not sure. But I'm pumped. Stan says, when you dive into a collectible, what's your thought process of choosing Alligator Loki over Steve Pugh Harley Quinn? Thanks. I just like Alligator Loki. There's no rhyme or reason. I just like him. I thought he was silly. It started off as a joke, and then I don't know. I like him just because he's silly. He's a fan favorite in that show. IGN posted out an Instagram thing about him, and overwhelming majority of people loved Alligator Loki as like the best Loki, like the greatest Loki variant. But I haven't taken a look at Stephen Pugh Harley Quinn. Well, I have, just not in a while. Wow, 1,900. It's only 5. Yeah, that's weird. There's only 500 of her. She's not a first appearance. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think I might have had her at one point. I just don't anymore. But let me try that Alligator Loki. I think that Alligator Loki is like, the secret rare is like $200. So you could definitely go and get one for super cheap. You can get one for $159. Oh my god. That is very, very low. That's well below retail. Yeah, you could totally stack those if you wanted. To my knowledge, the Stephen Pugh doesn't have any utility. The utility with the Secret Rare Alligator Loki will be, at some point when I go to Florida, everyone that has a Secret Rare Alligator Loki, I'll pay for their ticket into either Universal or into Disney. So you do have that there whenever I go there. But, you know, which I guess is fine. Buy this now and then get those free tickets for life, however many times I go to Florida. Stan says, when you dive into collect... Oh, I just read that. Nick Miller says, hi, Dashy. Hi, Nick Miller. Crazy Leg says, Yoda Secret Rare is going nuts. I bet it is. There's not a lot of... not a ton of those. There's only 6,000 of those comics. It's at 186. I should have bought it when it was like $90. I'm so stupid. Let's see if any of these... Ooh, the Yoda comic went up to $239. Common. Still outperforming the uncommon. Ooh, the rare is above retail. I can sell my rare for a little bit of a profit there. I'm sure it's still 29. Interesting. Yeah, this little thing's cool. I like it. Ooh, my hip. It's my back. Okay, that seems to be it for me today. Let's do this. Before we go and do anything, I want to take a look at some of these frozen things, because I think these are stupid undervalued. So Anna right now, Secret Rare at $75 for the floor. The cheapest sub 100 I think is 150. Yeah, is 159. And how you could tell where something's really loved or not is if on your phone, if all of the sub 100s can fit just on one screen. For Anna, it can, from number 41 to 94. So there's 10 of them. And then it goes to 106. But the number 91 for 159, I got my Anna for $100. She was, I got number 74 for 100. Someone just put it up there. I sniped it. All right, Elsa. So Elsa's at what, 25? So times 6. So it should be like 150 maybe for the sub 100. And there's actually one for 120, and that's number 95, which is but that one I think is slightly undervalued. She's not a first appearance, but she's super popular. Again, you could tell because a lot of her sub 100s are not there. They're mostly bought up and not listed. Now Olaf, he's at $32. I think I know why, but he's at 32. So I would say maybe it's not that. I mean, he is popular. I would say maybe 95, 95 to 100 should be about fair price point. And for Olaf, you actually, wow, you can't get any below 169, and that's number 92. I don't come at a nice time below the 69. There's only 4 of him that are listed, and one of which is a joke. Number 41 for 4,100. Nobody's going to buy that. But then the Lion King, I think, is also really interesting because you have, we'll start off same thing. We'll start with Secret Rare. We have Scar, which is $66.89. So it's like $9 less than Anna. So I guarantee you see a lot more sub 100s listed for him. And you do. There's, oh no, there's only 10 of them. Okay, I thought there was a lot more, but there's only 10 of them. Goes from number 42 to 97. And the cheapest one, I don't know, around like 150 maybe. Cheapest one is number 67 for 145. And then it goes to number 64 for 149.99, so 150. So I think that's pretty good. I remember seeing Scar the other day, and there was a couple of him that were fairly low. Rafiki is not that popular. He is at $15 and it's like, well, he's the ultra rare of this set. The ultra rare of the last set was Olaf, and he's $32. Well, he was like $38, but he's also animated and has sound. Rafiki has none of those, and he has more mints. I don't know, like I would say $75 would be good for this sub 100. You can get him number 84 for 84. That's about as close as you can get. And then there's a couple extra on there that you couldn't see in one screen. So he's not that popular right now. I think he will be. But Simba, I've gone over this before. He is super undervalued in my opinion. $35.50. I only have one of him. But I think he should be $195 for the sub 100. And the cheapest one you can get him at is number 63 for $250. So he's pretty popular. I really like him. Message. Okay. Crazy Dan 420 says, hey Randy, I agree with you on the lack of silver gains. For me, silver is like a seatbelt. Nice to know you got it. Probably won't need to use it, but it's great to have in a terrible crash. And I mean, who knows? Let's take a look at how the stock market's doing. I haven't taken a look at this in a while. Tesla's probably running wild, but let's see here. Go to Yahoo Finance. Market's a little down today. S&P down 0.07, down nothing. Nasdaq down 0.13. Gold down 0.89. Silver down 1.68%. Let's try Tesla. Tesla's down 1.47 on the day, up 0.16 after hours. Tesla's been pretty good. Actually been very good, especially year to date. Anyway, we have, what were we talking about before? Oh God, what were we talking about before? I forget what it was. I lost it. Let's try the S&P 500. So let's try the SPY. And let's see what that's at. SPY went down a little bit today, down almost 1% today, and about 0.1% afterwards. So I would say up 1% on the last 24 hours. Actually, it's been going, yeah. How far down does it go? I don't know. But the year to date, we are very, very up on the year to date. So what happens later in the year? What happens early next year? I don't know. We shall see. But that's all I gotta say about Vietnam. Hopefully we win Powerball tonight. There will be signs. We do have another comment from YouTube. Juju ZH4RW says, exchanges in 2024 required, please. I'm hoping. I mean, we should get exchanges in 2024. Could we get exchanges this year? It's definitely possible, but I would say probably next year. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. I'm going to wait 30 more seconds because I'm at an hour, 29 minutes, and 27 seconds. So I'm going to wait. And it's going to be awkward because I don't know what to talk about. Gary O said, damn. Yeah, so yo, Yoda, why your lightsaber just double in price? Gary O said, damn. Let's check some other stuff. I do want to check the Marvel. Oh, actually, let me check Voltron, because Voltron, I don't know if you guys noticed, I got the other day. The black one, there's only 252, where it says Shiro, Black Lion. There's 252 of them. I bought it for 50. It's at 69.69. Everyone comment nice down below for that. The uncommon, I think I also did really good on. It's $50. I bought it for 50, and it's $69 again, which is really great. And the rare, probably the same thing. Bought it for $18.95. It's 19. It's pretty much the same thing. Not gonna worry too much about it. And that do be the show. Eddie Almeida, Silver has been 1 years. Oh, I think Silver is I. All right, I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow, meow. Bye. Meow. Oh, I love you guys. Oh, my body, my back. Okay.